I think Haha McKenna is a good example of the fat acceptance movement using vitriol from the outside to fuel the belief that people just don't like them because they're overweight, and that it's like race, and it's like all these other things where there is actual like really bad things happening to people. They really think they want to think as part of the mental matrix of the E followed by the letter D, the bin followed by GE variety of it, specifically the bin followed by GE dysfunction. um, they really want you to believe that everyone just really dislikes you, and it's like you are of a minority race in your society if you are overweight. They need to believe that as part of their um, their way of keeping you over consuming in your cycle of your distraction, which all these eating dysfunctions are. They are ways that you obsess over your body image, you obsess over how much to eat, how much not to eat, and what kind of diet you should be on or not be on, and how you're treated in society. And you come up with all these ways of focusing on this collection of related things as a way of not thinking about or feeling other issues in your life that are more complex, perhaps, to think about. This is like a very simple, repetitive ritual, in a way, of mental ritual of going through these things. And fat acceptance is kind of reinforcing that. Whether or not each individual person has it is a different question, and you also can't tell by someone being overweight. That by itself doesn't mean there are other reasons to overconsume other than this condition. But within fat acceptance, it's built around it. And I'll link to a video explaining this phenomenon by someone who's had the same condition. We call it toxic ritualistic in this corner of the internet. And one of the effects is that it's some of them, if you're very severe, or if you're just deep in fat acceptance, you want this us versus them thing. And I think Haha McKenna is probably trying to get vitriol, and if she isn't getting it, she's pretending that she's getting it. We've got evidence from Sam at Every Size. She did a video on this lady saying, look, she pretended to have a comment that she didn't get. We can see that she didn't actually get this comment. She made it up. And I think that means that she's an unreliable narrator of what's going on with her comments specifically. And in light of that, I've got evidence here that she is a person who is doing that, who is fishing for vitriol. And if she isn't getting it, she's making it up because she needs to believe that to fuel perhaps her own cycle, or just because that's what everyone in the fat acceptance does. I don't want to say for sure. I can't read her mind. This is my opinion. I might be wrong. Please. And she's also obviously welcome to correct me, and you know, I'm going to be trying to be reasonable, not be mean, because I don't think she's a bad person necessarily from this. I just think it's showing it's pathological, and this whole community is pathological. It turns people pathological who are not necessarily even in the eating dysfunction. It just gives you these pathological thoughts because they're coming from the condition. And I want to show you that, yes, she might not be a reliable narrator. We shouldn't give her the vitriol that she wants, as tempting as it can be, because she is being quite irritating a lot of the time. But I think a lot of them do that. Like Marissa Matthews is one of them worst for this. I feel like she does it on purpose to some degree. She wants to be as irritating as possible because she can then use that as evidence of, look, they hate us because we're fat. And it's obviously because of the crazy things they're saying and the dangerous, harmful rhetoric that's causing people to be unhealthy and have, horrible health problems and bad quality of life and pass away early. That's why we really don't like it. But they want to twist everything into it's because we're fat. And yeah, this is my evidence of her doing that. Perhaps I might be wrong, but this is an example of what it might look like. At the very least, it might look like this in someone, even if it's not what she's doing. I do think this is a good example of what it can look like if someone does that.
Course, I have days, like I just posted a video where I was like, everything in my closet makes me want to, because I hate that my face and body look this way. When I say that, I don't want thin people to come in and be like, yeah, I agree. No.
The problem is nobody did that. I've watched the video. It's the one right before this one, if you want to look it up. So look at what she's wearing and go to that one, and then the one right before it. It's very quick video. It says literally just what she said. I've just had my hair cut, and now I don't like how my body and face looks. And she's going to claim now that is why she has a bad body day sometimes. It's the feedback, or at least heavily imply that the feedback she got on that video is the reason that she ever has a bad body day, like, or is an example of it, and she uses that in the rest of this to justify saying some terrible things about people who are not overweight, right? And but I looked in the comments, there isn't one. And if she were to delete them, you'd think she'd at least give you an example first, like show one and then maybe delete it afterwards. But she never gives examples of these comments, and I couldn't find a single one in that on that video that was saying anything like that.
It's not like that. It's not like that. I'm still very cute, and I think being fat is awesome. Having all of these thoughts and feelings that I'm afraid to put out there because I don't want the like ruling class of like skinny warriors, not warriors. You guys don't need enough to fight.
So that's being mean, right? That's being insulting to people. And it's not true, because her government, the ruling class, are not. I haven't seen a single one underweight. I even looked it up. That they're all like normal weight or overweight or beyond. In like the top level of her government right now. So who is she? The ruling class? Who I can name like 4 off the top of my head. 4 famous, powerful Americans who are maybe underweight. And like, I wouldn't even call them powerful in the sense of a ruling class. They just have a lot of money. And but like DJ Qualls, I would imagine he has a lot of money. He's an actor. He's quite successful. Eugenia Cooney, I think she has a lot of money. And like the others, honestly, come from the 90s. I can't name a single other off the top of my head underweight American. And the 2 I can name are not in any level of like government or like even a powerful industry. They're just entertainers who have a lot of money. I wouldn't call that the ruling class. So is she talking about healthy weight people and accusing what doctors would call healthy weight people and accusing them, presumably? Either way, she's being obviously very mean about whoever she's talking about, saying these bad things about them, and the pretext was they came in my comments and told me that I was right to feel this way. And it gets even worse with what she says about them, and it's clearly like not real. That's not what actually was said.
Ruling class of like skinny warriors, not warriors. You guys don't need enough to fight.
So, being mean, and no one even said anything.
I don't want you guys to think that you and I are thinking the same thing, because we're not. But like, am I allowed to have an off day without it being, okay, girl, you hate yourself, you gotta get in the gym, you gotta get on
Nobody
those
said that.
Bitch,
look at the video yourself. Nobody said that. So why is she doing this?
I won't. I hate you, and
it's
I love
so
me, and I love the fat girls with me.
So she literally said that. Like, she just said she hates people who are not overweight because they come in her sector, but no one did that. I think, and so when you see that last video she did on this whole controversy about what she said about Ozempic and what she compared it to, and in the last video on it, she says, you hate, like really, very strongly saying everyone dislikes us because we're overweight. Remember this, like those comments that she claimed to get, all the like, really horrible comments about her appearance because of that. We can't trust that she got a single comment like that, because she has a track record of making it up. And I'm not saying she's a bad person. I'm saying we should have compassion, but that is the psychology that we're seeing here, in my opinion. And I think we should try to understand what's really going on when people say stuff like this.